All right, we are live. Rohan Taylor, head coach of Australia. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, good, Brett. How you going?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. Doing well. How is everything going there? It's the what is it? Morning, the fifth morning or the sixth morning?
Yeah, day 5 morning.
Okay.
Heat's just about to start,
Yep.
probably in about 30 minutes. So,
Yep.
yeah, just getting ready for that. Women's 100
Awesome,
free today, so that's going to be a
mate.
good show.
Yeah. What a cracker. That could be the race of the whole meet. That one. It's just so jam packed at the top there, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah, no. I mean, obviously the 200 free was really, really strong and deep, but the women's 100 free, as we know.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be a good race. Looking forward to it.
Mate, just while you're here, what's your thoughts overall? You're 4 days in. How you feeling about the team so far?
Yeah, look, it's not no real surprises to be honest.
Yeah.
Like nothing jumps out. I think it's
Maybe Kai
I
Taylor.
tend, huh?
Maybe Kai Taylor might be a surprise.
Yeah, well, he's been tracking quite well, so for him to be able to produce
Yeah.
in the final, like that's probably the one that he needed to do, which he did.
Yeah.
But
Right.
as far as how he was tracking in his performances coming into it. But it's like I don't come into these with much of an expectation. Try to just let it unfold, and then as we're now kind of working on looking at the team and how it's going to what our strategies will be in relation to starting to put like relay things, thoughts and processes together. So I'm getting a little bit more into that headspace now, letting the meet just unfold.
Right. Um, why did you guys have tougher standards, qualifying standards, than the A cut for the World Championship?
Well, we've had these since 13. Really, last year we opened it up to just get some more exposure. And then it was just to really create that pressure and that opportunity to really perform and step up so that you're prepared to go into the international arena. Plus, having highly ranked athletes going in gives us a better chance of performance there. And
Yeah.
we've got the Australia A team. We've got other teams that we send our athletes away to get exposed to competition. So really, it's something that we did in 13. We after London that was put into place. When I was coaching, it just created a higher standard. Our athletes that go to international meets get there. They're highly ranked. You got semis to get through and finals. It just gives us a higher standard.
Yeah.
And that's really what we wanted to do. We wanted to tighten it up and wanted to create some pressure, get our athletes conditioned to that. Yeah, look, we have mechanisms to get people into the team through relays and other things too as well. So it's not, we do have some flexibility there for us to make sure we get the right team. But generally, it's about creating a high standard so performances we get people there that really can move through into semis quite easily and then deliver in a final.
So those guys or girls that won events but didn't make the Australian standard, will probably get pulled in.
Depends on what options with relays and other things we have. If
Right.
it,
Right.
obviously we need relay form stroke relays and things
Yeah.
like that. So we look at
Yeah.
all those things as it unfolds. So who do we have already on the team? And so there's a number of factors that go into it.
Um, what was I going to say? In terms of a number, do you have a specific number in mind that you want to be able to take to Fukuoka?
Uh, just whatever the team size becomes, really, to be honest. I mean,
Right.
there's only so many you can take with events, but there's a lot of double ups in that. So
Right.
it'll
Right.
be what the number is. There's no real number that we're thinking about.
Do the relays on the freestyle relay side, do they go up to potentially sixth place?
Yeah, we look at that. We have the ability to pick even further out than that.
Oh.
To be honest, we have the capacity to do that. I mean,
Mm.
traditionally you look at your six because you rest your two, and then you have four. But it really depends on the ability of those four to get us into final. We got to get into finals. Like that's the big
Yeah.
thing. Got to get into
Yeah.
finals, and you know how difficult that is.
Yeah.
And we want to be able to. So you'll look at the makeup of your top four, obviously. Then you look at fifth, sixth. You go and you also look at who's already on the team potentially in another event. So you might have somebody there, and so you factor all those in. But the most important thing is, do we have a team capable of getting into the final, and do we have the ability to use different people, and what does that look like to be able to get into the final? And that's the real challenge for us. And so the deeper and the stronger your events are, you could probably have that ability to pick a little bit further out. But it's event by event.
Yeah, mate. I think at the end of day 3, the whole team seemed to be Queensland. Is that concerning?
Oh, absolutely. Well, not concerning. I mean, that's what it is at the moment. I mean, I shouldn't use the word. That's not concerning. It's more about, that's just where it sits at the moment. It's opportunity now for other states to really develop and get athletes in the team, which we work on obviously through our pathways programs and other things that we do. But at the moment, the bulk of our athletes that have been on teams of recent times and will be coming from Queensland.
I haven't been back, obviously, about 16 years, so I don't know the ins and outs of the workings of the states. Is the Queensland setup so far superior than all the other states, or is it are they still pretty well balanced in terms of like the availabilities, the fundings, and things like that, or is Queensland kind of a standalone state in terms of that?
No, look, I think the facilities around the country are exceptional. In a lot of places, I think. And the support services are quite very standardized across that with the state institutes and what they provide,
Right.
and our support, our camp and competition support to the coaches and athletes of the categorized athletes that we have is standardized. So wherever you're at, it's going to be the same. It comes down to people who want to train with other people,
Yeah.
coaching environments.
Mm.
There's a number of different factors, climate, cost of living, you name it. There's a whole bunch of different factors that come into it. But I'd say that, it wasn't that long you were swimming when New South Wales had the bulk of the team. So,
Yeah.
so things will swing around, but that's where we're at the moment.
Mate, I was a little concerned at the choice of the venue. I trained in that pool. I know what it's like. I trained there, talking like 20 years ago now. So it's been around for a while, that venue. And it seems to me like it's a training pool. Why would we have the Australian Championships in a training pool?
I think that we had World Short Course here. I think there was something organized with that to package it up. So I think that's the reason.
Yeah.
The venue, look, I think you would have swum Com Games trials here in '98. That's when if you remember that.
Yeah.
Com Games
Wow,
trials. So we've
that's
had
right.
some meets here.
Mm.
At the end of the day, it's the same for everybody. But yeah, look, it's always about making sure the venues can support the competition and support what we're trying to do. And I think every time we go to a different venue, we assess it and we say, is this good enough for what we're trying to achieve? And then we can move off the back of it. We hadn't run an event here in Melbourne for a while in the indoor pool, let's say. The outdoor pool obviously is really good. We had the short course there. So yeah, I mean, it's the same for everybody at the moment. So they're all getting in there and getting it done.
Yeah, mate. When you look at a competitive team worldwide, do you feel like you're putting one together where you can compete with the top nations like the US? Do you feel like it's coming together like that now?
I think probably the past period of time, we've been consistent. Obviously Tokyo was exceptional in that, and we were pretty consistent last year. We've got a good spread of consistent talent that seems to be producing results consistently. Obviously events shift and move, and to answer your question, I think we are quite competitive in a number of events, and there's events we need to be more competitive in. So I think from a depth point of view across the board, we can improve, and that'll help us improve in that competitiveness against the bigger nations. But that's what we're striving for. So, I always say we'll see how we land when we get to Worlds. As you know, we'll get there. We'll have highly ranked athletes who need to improve or to be consistent, and then they can deliver results. We'll have some that'll push through. We'll have some. It'll be a mixed bag. But then after it, we'll look at that and say, well, that's where we're at right now. What do we need to do to improve and keep going forward? So for
Yeah.
us right now, it's about, we want to be competitive. That's our goal. Absolutely. It's a history. It's, as you know, it's the history of our country. We want to be competitive on the international stage.
Yeah. Mate, it's nice to see kind of Kyle Chalmers come full circle in everything. He had a rough year kind of in the media. He had a rough year physically on his body. You know, he was broken down a lot. He seems to be healthy. He seems to be in a great place physically, mentally. But he seems to be taking on a leadership role, which is probably good for you.
Yeah, look, Kyle's when he's on team and, anytime he's in this competitive environment, he's just is infectious. He makes others walk tall around him. Yes, he is definitely training and consistently healthy, and yeah, got a good way about him at the moment, and the way he's going in and out of the pool, which is great for us.
Yeah, yeah. What else, mate? I said I was going to keep you 10 minutes, or it's 11, but I appreciate every minute you're giving us here. But
No, all good. I appreciate the catch up. Look, as I said, we'll see what the team unfolds for us. Then we'll get 3 weeks. Then we off to Saga for a training camp, and we'll get into it. We'll get to Worlds, and really excited about what we're going up against. And then obviously off the back of that, like again, a number of other things that are going to be falling in front of us with World Cups. We want to have a really good investment in the World Cups. We'll have the Australia A team over at the Pro Series. We'll have a junior team going to Israel.
Oh.
We'll have our athletes who choose to want to make themselves available for Doha. So there's a lot happening, a lot of opportunities and exposure before we get that runway into Paris, Charles. So yeah, let's just get to Worlds. Let's get that done, and we keep ticking along.
When you say Doha, that there's another World Championship, isn't there? Like early next year, and that's exactly. A long course. So what's going on with that? How do you pick a team for that?
So the team that gets picked from this, so Japan team will have first right to the events.
Okay.
If they want to go to Doha, they can. And then as they, I don't know, it's a mixed bag of who's going, and a lot of people don't know yet really if they want to. Obviously, we need to get a relay qualified. We'll go there, even though we can sit on our rankings, but heaven forbid we need to get a relay qualified. We'll have to prioritize that, which we will. But all of those competitions that I talked about, the Australia A, World Cups, Japan Open, Queensland States, a number of competitions, Junior Worlds, can be used to qualify for Doha if there's an open event. So let's say, I don't know, there's an event where an athlete says, you know what, I'm not going to Doha, or two athletes, and those open up, then people can qualify through any of those competitions. So it gives more opportunity to others to get themselves to a world.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, it doesn't seem like you're going to have to worry about the women's 4x1. I don't think they're going to have any trouble qualifying. The trouble you're going to have is figuring out who the top four are. That's going to be a tough one to pick, mate.
Yeah, I'd rather have that problem than not.
In terms of the trials, just in positioning wise for Fukuoka, you feel pretty good that you got it right in terms of where you're at and the ability to go back and kind of reset and then retaper again.
Well, yeah, I think we'll find out. We'll find out, won't we? But this is in consultation with the coaches. Look, everything we do, everything I do, I'm very much a collaborator, and I'll be very clear here. Whether it's selection standards all the way through to camps, I work with the coach leadership. I work with the coaching group. I keep them informed. I get a lot of feedback, and then we make the decisions. So we definitely inform them along the way why we're doing what we're doing, and if there's any thoughts or any ideas that we can take on to make it better, we will. The high standard of our team being selected is definitely something that is supported. It's challenging, but we're looking to get people who can really deliver, and that's one of the strengths that we have at the moment.
Are they still warming up, or has the meet started?
No, they're warming up.
Oh, would you mind? Yeah. Would you mind giving us a quick glimpse of the warm-up pool? Would you, or the competition?
The warm-up pool?
No, the competition pool. Yeah,
I'm in the comp pool.
Yeah, just show us the comp pool real quick. I like to give people a little inside view here, mate. Look at that. Yeah, perfect. Look at that. Look at that. Behind the scenes of the Aussie swimming trials. There's the comp pool. Look at that. Love it.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, mate. Listen, you're a legend for doing this. Thanks, mate.
No worries, buddy.
All right. Good luck. Good luck with everything. I can't wait to see the team that you assemble, mate, and the coaches too. You know, you got some brilliant coaches. What about Dean Boxall? The job that Dean Boxall's doing, mate, unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's fun to watch, fun to be around, and see what the work he does.
Yeah.
All the coaches. I'm very fortunate, to have the coaches that we have working with these athletes are really it's really a blessing for me, and I enjoy every minute of it.
Yeah, mate, I would love, this is just a fantasy of mine. I know Sonny, the swimsuit guy, he's in the comment section right now. This is kind of our fantasy. We would love to come down to Australia and just put a camera on Boxall for a period of time, knowing that that footage is not going out until after the Olympics. But imagine just following this guy and his team for like 3 or 4 weeks and the type of footage that you'd be able to accumulate watching him prepare for the Olympics, mate. Wouldn't that be outstanding?
Yeah, well, I can tell you it would be entertaining because I get to go stand on pool deck with him, and it's very much a great experience, and you learn something every time. So definitely that would be worth watching.
Well, I might have to talk him into it. All right, mate. Listen, I appreciate it. Take care. All right.
Be well. Talk
See you,
soon.
mate. Good luck. Bye.
Bye. Bye.